Hi everybody, it's Christopher Nejman. Well, you know, I never really ventured much into doing digitizing myself, and I have Embrilliance now, so I thought I would try a few things, okay? So one thing I want to do is, like, I was looking at adding some more fonts, and then I found out that I can add the fonts that are on my computer. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go to here, I'm going to do the create. And over here on the left is the True Type font. So I'm going to click that on. And this is a font that's in my, that I chose. If you click here, there's tons of different fonts here. So this is the one that I chose. And I'm going to type Art Deco, because this reminds me of Art Deco. Alright, now that's all highlighted, I'm going to choose a satin column. There we go. Now, this is where I get stuck because I want to rotate it. So here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to rotate it there. Spread it out here. And then I want to move this. I'm trying to figure out how to move it. Edit, select all. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can do this. I'm going to group all. I'm going to group it. And then I'm going to... No, can't do that. Trying to move this now. Edit, select all. So I'm just going to use the arrows on my keyboard until I figure out how to move with the mouse. Alright, so now I'm going to save that. And then we're going to try it at the embroidery machine, see what happens. Alright, so I've got some microfiber fabric, micro suede they call it. It's an upholstery for draperies and things like that. And then there's the design that got loaded on my machine. I'm going to use this J metallic thread by Robinson Anton, and it's on my Martelli thread stand. And then I've got an embroidery, top stitch size 14 needle. Here is the stand. You can see it's in front of my machine, to the front side of my machine. It's not to the side here where the flywheel is. You don't want it near the flywheel. And if you notice, I have these kitchen clips. And these kitchen clips I use, I have one here and one back there, so when I'm using my big thread stand up there, it'll help guide in here. These are called fridge clips by 3M, fridge clips. When I was using the Singer sewing machine, embroidery machine, and I was figuring it out for people from the Singer groups, I figured out how to keep the thread in path so it didn't pop out of the guides, and these fridge clips work great. They're hard to find because I guess everybody bought them. They were sold out. I could have made some money off of that stuff, let me tell you. Alright, so here we go. Let me get this started here. I gotta do okay. Okay, and let's go. And I got this set for one stitch. So after one stitch, it'll let me cut the thread. See that? Isn't that cool? So I can take my scissors here and cut the thread. I usually cut it right there. That's more than enough to leave. Take this thread away and let her rip. Let's see how this True Type font works out. You can see how nice the thread is coming off with the Martelli Notion. As I talked about in all my other videos, your metallic threads have to come off from the side. They have to feed off from the side. If they don't feed off from the side, and easily feed off from the side, you're going to have breakage. You don't want the thread feeding from the top because they'll kink on you. You want it to feed from the side, kind of like toilet paper. Alright, now here's something that I should have done. I had to figure this out. And this is where I'm stuck. Where I wanted all to sew out at one time. Now it shows one thread, but I had to figure out on the software program how to be able to sew it out so I don't have a stopping every time. So I have a feeling I have to stop at every letter here. but I'll have to figure that out later. Like I said, this is new to me. Digitizing is new to me. And that software is new to me. I had the software, I just never really, I only use it for editing. I never really use it for digitizing. So, and this is stitching at 800 stitches per minute. Look at that go. It's flowing so smoothly. Alright, that's going to stop again. Yeah, I'm going to have to really read about how to make sure where I don't have to stop in between every letter. That's pretty cool. So I have some publishing programs that have a lot of true type fonts, and when I went to the true text, true type fonts on the Embrilliance software, it allowed me to view those and bring it in. So I just got all these extra fonts, which is pretty cool. Hey, if any of you use this program and you can tell me how to set it up so I don't, when I'm editing on the digitizing and do that on the software, what I need to set it up so it doesn't stop at every letter. If I don't figure it out by the time you write, let me know. Yeah, I wanted to show you the capability of using metallic thread. This is the Martelli Kwik Spin. This unit is made in America. And it is quality, my friends. It is quality. It's on ball bearing wheels. I have an extra plate on there, because this is actually the small one. They make a bigger one, but I have the small one on here. I had an extra plate with the felt I put on there. And this is microfiber fabric. Like I said, it's a top stitch size 14 needle. It's stitching at full speed. Look how fabulous that is. Alright, I'm going to stop this a moment. So I'm going to talk about something here. I always talk about how you can use any thread on any machine, right? Well, there was something I did discover. I had purchased a few of these on eBay because I wanted to test them out. This was metallic thread. Of all the threads I've ever used, this thread here of metallic, holy crap, it kept breaking, it kept shredding, and it's the same needle, the same fabric. Let me grab that fabric and show you. Alright, so here it is right here. It kept shredding. I was trying to do a stitch out. Oh, it was horrible. I mean, what did stitch was kind of pretty there, but it kept shredding. I had it kept going over, and then as soon as I switched over, you see, I started it here, but as soon as I switched over to the J Metallic by Robes St. Anton, look how beautiful it stitched out without another breakage. And I said, perfect. But I was a little disappointed because I've bought all kinds of brands of metallic threads. And the thing of it is, this one, what's the brand name on here? Metallic threads, there is no brand name. It's just a China-made thread. So, yeah, this wasn't all that great. I'm using Robes St. Anton. I've used Sulky. What else have I used? Oh, Madeira. The top brand names. Here's a Sulky up here. I always have, Sulky always works good for me. And then, what did we use the other day? We used, when I was testing, remember the other video I did? I went to Walmart and got this Coats & Clark, which sewed out beautifully. Not one thread break with this. So, yeah. So it wasn't the needle. It wasn't the fabric. It was this thread. It just shreds. This was not very good. Now, I don't know if this will work good as a regular sewing thread. Don't know. I'll have to try that later, but for the embroidery, it just wouldn't handle it. It just would not handle it. Not at all. Wow, that's really nice, isn't it, everybody? Yeah, I gotta figure out in that software how to combine this so it doesn't stop at every letter. There's that one stitch. The one stitch on this machine is a feature that allows you, if you have to change colors, it allows you to cut the thread and then start it again. That's a really nice feature on this. I just keep it on one stitch. Something I wanted to point out here is if you notice, the thread never came out of the needle. The metallic thread never came out of the needle when it was embroidered, when it changed, it cut the thread and everything. Now, my top of the line baby lock machine that's made by Brother, when it cuts metallic thread, cuts the jump threads, it pops out of the needle, and there's no way to adjust it for the stitch length. I called my repair guy. He said there's no way to adjust it. This Janome has a feature in the software on the computer sewing machine. You go into your settings and you can adjust the length of the thread tail, which is a fabulous feature. Kudos to Janome. Wow. So nice. Here's what the back of that fabric looks like. And you know, it feels just like suede. Look at that. It's so soft. You know, don't be afraid to experiment, everybody. Don't start on a real project that you've never done before, because you don't want to mess it up. Take some scraps that you have, test it out, keep this, and test other things on the same scrap. This is nice. I mean, it's got a nice raised effect. Oh my God, that's so nice. So nice. Wow. And again, just like I teach you all, I've been teaching you all in all my videos how to set up your metallic thread. You see that? Let me shut this up. The ball bearing on here allows this thread to be fed freely, so there's no tension. There's no nothing holding it. You know, it's like on a cloud, so it's not causing any stress on the thread. And this is wonderful. Again, this is made in USA. It's by Martelli. It's called a Kwik Spin, Kwikspin. So if you've ever had problem with metallic threads and you want to use bigger spools, there's two different sizes. This is for the small spools, and they have one that's for the big cone spools. So it's really worth it. It's not cheap, but it's quality, and it's made in USA. Everything made in USA is going to cost you a little more money, because people have to earn a living wage, and they're going to make quality. Quality has always been made in USA. And there it is. There it is. Isn't that nice? Oh, for some of you who are asking about the light, okay, this is an industrial LED light. And normally on the industrial machines, it's got a magnet here that attaches with the magnet, right? So what I did was I took a washer, a metal washer. I used double-sided automotive tape behind here. by 3M, and this can easily be removed, so it's not permanent. And then you just, it's magnetic, and then you can move this anywhere you want. You got all that extra light out here. And then I got an extension table for this. And I'm going to make myself a bigger extension table out of wood. I always use an extension table when I sew. What I like about this machine is that you can leave the extension table on when you embroider, and it gives you more support for your hoop. Isn't that nice? But the extension table I'm going to extend it longer out here. And I have about an inch coming out more here this way. It's important when you sew to have an extension table so you can lay your fabrics and not have them drag off the side, and you're able to hold your hands better and pinch the fabric when you feed it. You know, so many times we see home sewers that are taught to feed the fabric like this. They put their hands like this. You see those women and some of those men sewing like this because that's all they know. That's all they were taught by people that are hired at the sewing stores. People at the sewing stores, the majority of them that are hired were not people that worked in the garment industry or the factories. So, you know, there's a whole series on how to sew in the proper professional way on Islander Sewing. You go to islandersewing.com and you can buy their videos on industrial methods of sewing. So having that extension table is very important. Anyone who calls himself a professional will have an extension table attached to their machine when they teach, and they'll be showing you how to hold the fabric properly. And then holding it properly does not include this, okay? We don't do this when we sew. We hold it a certain way, all right? Some tips. You learn along the way. So isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. I wanted to show this whole video, this whole thing stitching out, so you can see there's not one thread breakage. Not one thread breakage at all. So it's like I tell you all, when you have the right setup and you do it right, there is not an issue. And for the first time, I wanted to show you this because I'm pretty humble about this. One thread that I used that I had problems with, and I've never had problems with a metallic thread before for feeding, and it was this spool that I got. It was like on eBay. It was really cheap. I said, well, I'm going to try it. Thank God it was really cheap, and now I know why. So we could use this for thread, unwind this and use it for sandwiching thread when you're doing thread art. I show that in my book because I have a thing here. I save all my embroidery threads. And in my pillows book, I show you what to do with those embroidery threads the way I do things. All right, guys, take care. Give this a try. Check out this thread stand. You're going to love it if you want to do metallic threads and do it flawlessly. And this was not regular cotton fabric. This was that tough fabric to sew on that people sometimes have issues with. And this was on my Janome MC 9900. And every embroidery brand machine that I've sewn on with the Martelli thread stand always got excellent results, never an issue. All right, take care. Until my next video. Talk to you later. Bye.